I will start the presentation by explaining about coherence and cohesion. Well, language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communication. According to Basman in 2006, language is a vehicle for the expression of exchanging of thoughts, concepts, knowledge, and information, as well as the fixing and transmission of experience and knowledge. The arrangement and the relevance of language used in a communication can be explained as a discourse. In linguistics, according to Stubbs in 1983, defines that discourse is a study of the organization of language above sentence or above clause, and therefore to study larger linguistic units such as conversational exchange or written text. It can be said that study of discourse is wider than other linguistic studies. Discourse analysis not only describe composition of sentence but also the composition of whole text which contains more than one sentence. In other words, discourse has higher occupation than phoneme, morpheme, word, phrase, clause, and sentence. There are two terms that are very fundamental in discourse analysis, which studies the relation among a text within the other text. They are cohesion and coherence. Cohesion is the use of language form to indicate semantic relations between elements in a discourse. According to Basman in 1998, cohesion refers to the various linguistic, which means grammatical, lexical, and phonological, by which sentences stick together and are linked into larger units of paragraphs or stanzas or chapters. There are two main types of cohesion. The first is grammatical cohesion, which referring to the structural content, and the second is a lexical cohesion, which referring to the language content of the piece. Coherence is grammatical and semantic interconnectedness between sentences that form a text. According to Van Dijk in 1997, coherence is how the meaning of sentences in a discourse hang together. Well, coherency grammatically arises when a text contains transition signals or when it possesses consistent pronoun. Semantically, a text is said coherence when there is a unity of meaning among elements of the text. In a discourse analysis, sometimes it is very difficult to describe and differentiate the terms of cohesion and coherence. The two elements can be sophisticated formula in producing good and effective discourse, especially in written discourse. I think that's all from me. We will move to the next speaker.
The next material is about the methodology. The research observed cohesion and coherence of the editorials in the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition as the object of the research. To identify and analyze the object of a research, the research determined the research types. States on Haryanto 1986, there are two types of research, namely quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative research is a research includes any type of research based on the percentage, average, chi-square, and other statistical computations, while the qualitative research is a research procedure that results in a descriptive data in written and spoken forms in the language community. The research is fully a qualitative research. The research used observing method to gather data from 28 editorials article of the Jakarta Post May edition in researching the pattern and function of cohesion and coherence of the research object. Based on Haryanto, that there are two methods of gathering data in linguistic research, namely observing method and interviewing method. According to Haugen, there are three primary methods to analyze the data that are identify method, distributional method, and introspective method. The research used identify method. After analyzing the data, the research finding was displayed through informal method to display the data. Okay, I think that's all from me. We move to the next speaker.
Okay, I will continue the explanation of my friends. It's about discussion of cohesion. In the cohesion in the editorials of the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition. Cohesion in discourse means solidity from which structurally established synthesis tie. According to Halliday and Hassan, there are two cohesion devices, namely grammatical cohesion and lexical cohesion. I will explain about the grammatical cohesion and my friends will explain about the lexical cohesion. Grammatical cohesion consists of reference, substitution, and ellipsis, and the last is conjunction. In general, grammatical cohesion is referred to the various grammatical devices that can be used to make relation among sentences more explicit. First, I will explain about reference. Reference can be identified as that situation in which one element cannot be semantically interpreted unless it is referred to another element in the text. In reference, there are two kinds of adaphoric and relation. It is anaphora and cataphoric. Reference uses personal reference, demonstrative reference, and comparative reference. Personal reference is reference by means of function in the speech situation through the category of person. In the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition, it consists of personal probably and possessive determinants. Second, demonstrative reference is reference by means of location on a scale of a proximity. The demonstrative reference found in the editorials of the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition are the, these, those, here, and there are the adaphoric because the interpretation of the reference lists which then products of the text. In adaphora consists of anaphora and cataphora, and the reference the, this, those, and her are anaphoric because their presupposition has gone before. Comparative reference is indirect reference by means of identity of similarity. In Jakarta Post, the Jakarta Post May 2011 is about addition, is about equal, similar, other, more, less, and as that the eidetic numerative comparative reference. Equal, similar, and other are general reference where equal for identify, similar for similarity, and then other is for difference. More and less are particular demonstrative reference. Second is about substitution. Substitution is a relation between linguistic items such as word or phrase, or in other words, it is relation on the lexical grammatical level, the level of grammar and vocabulary, or linguistic. Halliday and Hassan 1976 divide there are three types of substitution. There are namely nominal, verbal, and causal. The elements of nominal substitution are one, and same. Nominal substitution found in Jakarta Post May 2011 is one. The nominal substitution, one function as the head of nominal group. The verbal substitution in English is do. There is a verbal substitution do, quiet to jump the defense, or dare to follow politician. In the editor of the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition.
The word use causal substitution are so and the causal substitution found in Jakarta Post May 2011 edition not which substitute much of the injury has not been fit at Yudhoyono. Not is a substitution of conditional clauses. The third is about ellipsis. Ellipsis is something that is present in the selection of underlying or systematic option in the structure. It is divided into the three kinds, namely nominal ellipsis, verbal ellipsis, and causal ellipsis. Nominal ellipsis means the ellipsis which the nominal group or the common noun that may be omit and the function of had taken by one of other element. In the Jakarta Post, May 2011, those, some, other, most, and large. Those are a specific dictic which function as a head. Some of a non-specific dictic and function as a head. Verbal ellipsis is an elliptical verbal group process and more word from a previous verbal group. In Jakarta Post May 2011, the word and will are lexical ellipses. There are the types of ellipses in which lexical verb is missing from the verbal group. And the last is about the conjunction. Conjunction is a rather different in a nature from the word cohesive relation. According to Halliday in an introduction to function grammar 1985, conjunction is classified into three. There are elaboration, extension, and enhancement. Elaboration means one clause that expand another by elaborating on it to some portion of it by restating in other words, specifying in a greater detail, comment or explicifying. Conjunction consists of two kinds that are exposition and classification. As exposition or clauses by expository or explication. In Jakarta Post, May 2011, it is a word of opposite that expository, and for the example is exemplification. Extension means one clause expand another by extending beyond it by adding some new element, giving expansion to it, or offering an alternative. Extension involves addition, adverbials, and variation. There are some extension in the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition. The conjunction is not in addition because the word presupposes an addition item, but conjunction which has two contracts sentence, so the word in adverbial. And the last is about enhancement, means one clause expand another by embellishing around by qualifying it some nature of the time, place, cause, and condition. Enhancement involves spatial, temporal, manner, causal, and conditional, and matter. In Jakarta Post May 2011 edition, the word is about spatial, temporal, because it's being used test creating cohesive device in terms of metaphorical space. There are clauses conditional because the expand and qualify clauses of a sentence are circumstantial future of condition. I think that's all. We will move to the next speaker.
Well, everyone, I would like to continue the material from my friends. B. Lexical cohesion. Lexical cohesion comes about through the selections of items that are related in some way to those that have gone before. Halliday, in 1985, types of lexical cohesions are repetitions, synonymy, and collocations. There are number one, repetitions. Repetitions is categorized into repetitions, synonymy, or near synonyms. Superordinates and general word. Repetitions is the direct item form lexical cohesions. Some repetition in the editorial of the Jakarta Post, May 2011. Editions are hashtag and piece. The findings above show that repetitions is always repeated by the word in preceding sentence. Synonyms is used to mean sameness of meaning. That is, lexical cohesion results from the choice of a lexical item that is, in some sense, synonymous with a preceding one. Well, the next is collocations. Collocations has three restrictions that are based all on the meaning of the items. Some are based on range, and some are in the district sense. Halliday and Hassan in 1979, the following are the example of the collocations in the editorial of the Jakarta Post, May 2011 editions. The word injuries is a strong collocation with the word violence. Change of collocations are investor, exporter, and importer. Coherence in the editorials of the Jakarta Post in general. Coherence is the grammatical and semantics interconnectedness between sentences that form a text. Sinclair, Hay, and Fox in 1993 say a text can be said to be coherent when its successive sentence can be assigned whole and without difficulty to one of the relationship. According to Van Zijk, in 1997, coherence is how the meaning of sentence in a discourse hang together. Again, number one, repetitions. Repetitions in coherence structurally has explained in lexical cohesions. There are some repetitions in the editorial of the Jakarta Post, May 2011. The whole hashtag release process deserves a 2 thumbs up as it broke the record in saving man had hashtag at sea in less than 150 days. B. Transitions. Transitions consist of conjunctions as explained in the grammatical cohesions. There are some transitions in the editorial of the Jakarta Post, May 2011. Education has remained a non-priority sector regardless of its high budget. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that the state has failed to provide the sense reward for it. Okay, the next one is pronounce, reference. Pronounce incoherence is the same with the explanations of it in reference as the part of grammatical cohesions. There are some pronouns in the editorials of the Jakarta Post May 2011. This newspaper carried thousands of Indomaret employees after being informed of the closure of the shop where they worked in West Jakarta. Maybe that's all from me. And now let's continue to the last speaker. Thanks.
For the last, it's about conclusion. This paper has examined cohesion and coherence aspect of the editorials of the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition. From the discussion, the cohesion of the editorials in the Jakarta Post May 2011 consists of grammatical and lexical cohesion. The grammatical cohesion involves reference, substitution, ellipsis, and conjunction. The lexical cohesion involves reiteration and collocation. And the paper has also created description of the ambiguity between cohesion and coherence aspect, and finally concludes that there is a relationship between cohesion with coherence. Coherence is separate from grammatical and lexical cohesion, and specially signifies the semantic meaning of the structure of cohesion. Cohesion and coherence are closely related and support each other. Cohesion refers to lineage of forms, while coherence refers to lineage of meaning. The relation can seen from the devices of the three items: repetition, transition, and personal reference are the devices of the grammatical and lexical cohesion. The fundamental differences between them is that cohesion is synthetically aspect and cohesion is semantically aspect. And for the result of the study of cohesion and coherence of the editorials in the Jakarta Post May 2011 edition provide practical and theoretical information about discourse analysis. Practically, the research explain about cohesion and coherence devices that are very essential in writing process. Theoretically, research of the discourse is still very rare. It is caused by many reasons. The paper at least can be used as a map in understanding the dimension and limitation study of discourse. That's for me. Thank you. Well, that was explanation from group 3. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.